Hi students, welcome to my channel Biochemics with Ajay MNR. Today we are going to discuss very important topic from a chapter called Gravitation. The topic is nothing but universal law of gravitation. Yeah, if you see this diagram here we can easily recognize this one of the famous and eminent scientist is nothing but Isaac Newton. He was the one who discovered gravitational force, and who is the one who has proved that light is composed of seven colors by using Newton's disk, and he's the one who proposed different laws, Newton's first law, second law, and third law. According to third law, when there is an action, there will be an equal and opposite reaction for this. If you look at these pictures, you can easily understand about his greatness. Is nothing but Isaac Newton, right? Now, universal law of gravitation was stated by Sir Isaac Newton. Now, what did he state about the universal law of gravitation? Sir Isaac Newton put forward the universal law of gravitation in 1687 and used it to explain the observed motions of the planets and moons. By using his telescope, he observed movements of different planets and moons, and for that, who just proposed a law which is called universal law of gravitation. So the man or the scientist behind universal law of gravitation is none other than Sir Isaac Newton. He proposed this universal law of gravitation in 1687. So here we can see many discoveries of him. One is gravitation, second one is Newton's disk, and he proposed three different laws of motion. Now, what is the universal law of gravitation? What does it say? Newton's law of universal gravitation states that every object attracts every other object in the universe with a force, right? In this universe, every object attracts another object with a certain force. That force is directly proportional to the product of the masses. That means two masses. If two objects are there, each object attracts another one with certain force. That force is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. This is universal law of gravitation. If you can write a mathematical explanation for this one. For example, if you take two objects here, one is a mass one is another one mass two. Each one attracts another one. That means mass one attracts mass two towards it with certain force F1, and mass 2 attracts mass 1 with certain force F2, and this force is directly proportional to the mass of these M1 and M2 and inversely proportional to the distance between them. That means if distance is more, force of attraction will be less. If distance is less, force of attraction will be more. And similarly, if product of mass is high, force also will be more. Next, here, if you just give mathematical expression for this law of gravitation, force is directly proportional to product of mass 1 and mass 2. And similarly, force is inversely proportional to its distance square between those two objects. If we club these two, we can write this formula like this. Force is directly proportional to product of masses upon square of the distances. So this is the universal law of gravitation formula. The universal gravitation equation thus takes the form of F is equal to capital G times m1 product of masses upon distance square or radius square. If you see the notation here, F refers force and capital G that denotes universal gravitation constant, and m1 refers mass of object 1, m2 refers mass of object 2, and r square refers distance between the center of those two objects squared. So this is universal gravitation equation, F equal to G times product of masses upon R square. The constant proportionality G is in the above equation is known as the universal gravitation constant. Henry Cavendish was a scientist. He was experimentally determined the precise value of capital G, universal gravitation constant. The value of G is found to be 6.673 into 10 power raised minus 11 Newton meters square by kg square. So this is universal law of gravitation formula, and G value also given over here. It is 6.673 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square.